A Garage Geek 3-in-1. Hi everybody, welcome to Garage Geek on this Sunday morning. I wasn't planning on making a video, but last night I saw that one of my favorite YouTubers, which is Mr. E, the Low Grade King, he made his 10 best Wolverine covers. When I first started making videos, I came across the 10 best covers for comics thread that was from Comic Collector Geek. I don't know what happened. I tried to do them weekly. Some weeks I just couldn't do it. Sometimes I couldn't find comics to fit the themes. I don't know if Mr. E is taking up the mantle. I wish he would, because I think this is a kind of fun thing where you can go into your collections and show them off. And so I decided to create a 3-in-1 video around this. So I am going to be showing off Wolverine covers. Then I'm going to show off 10 albums around a theme. Finally, I'm going to show a haul of Mad magazines. And I'm going to end the video with an announcement. So if you watch Mr. E's video, which I will link in the description, he showed so many of the famous Wolverine covers, and I believe he also showed, yes he did, he showed Hulk 181, which I actually have a copy of, shockingly enough. So I'm not gonna bother to show those. However, I didn't have 10. Now I recently, well not recently, about maybe a year ago, I found a bunch of Wolverine covers that I really loved, and they were $1 each. So I'm gonna just show those off and talk about why I wanted them for my collection. But in order to kind of flesh it out, because there's only 7, I am gonna show the 4 Wolverine covers that I readily had available. When I opened up the drawer, I went to Wolverine, I found these 4. Mr. E also showed that one, so I'm not gonna, fixate on it. This is, he actually showed Wolverine #1, but I really like that cover. This is one of those 90s die-cut gimmick covers for Wolverine #50. And here is a Mark Teixeira cover. Now this, or Teixeira, his art style is really interesting. It's really like dark lines. Although he's not my favorite, I've always found his art very interesting. So now we're gonna go with the ones that I'm gonna show, and then there's only 7 of them. So the first one is Wolverine Weapon X #8. And I mean, look at that cover art. You see a menacing Wolverine who has escaped his chains somehow, leaving all the blood, and then you've got this nurse who's probably doing some genetic experiments on him or something. But yeah, look at that. And the art says that that's Adam Kubert, which is the son of Joe Kubert, and then, I believe, and then T.L.W. Dunny, D-O-N-E-Y, that's what I could read there. But wow, is that a gorgeous cover. Wolverine 170. The artist, I can't find a signature for the artist, but wow, just look at that. I know we did a snow on comic covers, but maybe when it comes to winter, we could revive that one, because look at the cool snow on this cover. Stay Alive, part 1 of 3. So this artist is featured prominently in the rest of my comics. This guy's art is just crazy, quirky, so much fun. He did a lot of the Marvel Zombies covers, and that's Arthur Suydam. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. S-U-Y-D-A-M. Suydam. Painted, just, you could criticize this, but overall, I mean, look at how cool that art is. This one is Sam Nee, and I don't often like cartoony covers, but that one just jumped out at me. What do you think about that? Let's go ahead and get a close-up of it. Pretty cool. Uh-oh, I did that. That's what Mr. E always says. Pretty cool. But he says it way cooler. He's like Elvis. Here's another Suydam. I mean, look at that. That is phenomenal. This is Wolverine #57. I mean, look at that. Wolverine's going to take a little while to heal from that. Another Suydam cover. This just shows Wolverine in a bunch of different incarnations, which is pretty cool. This one was number 59. Now, the last one, initially I really liked it, but I've kind of changed my mind. I don't like the face and the way it looks very plasticky, but the rest of it is cool. And it makes me wonder if this is somehow digital. But this is Wolverine Patch. Like, overall, that is a gorgeous cover. But when I look at his face, yeah, it just looks kind of digital or plasticky to me. So that was my 10 Wolverine covers to support Mr. E, the Low Grade King. And Mr. E, I really encourage you to take up the mantle. If you want some ideas, let's email or text back and forth. We can come up with some, I think, interesting themes to carry on the mantle of Comic Collector Geek. And in fact, maybe one of us should reach out to Comic Collector Geek and find out what happened. Or maybe you know, because you did them way more regularly than I did. In the theme of 10 greatest, I wanted to do some albums, and I was thinking, since it's only one character, that maybe I could focus on one singer or artist. But then I thought, you know what? It's time for me to show off some of my Living Stereo. So I picked 10 Living Stereo albums that are my favorite covers. However, I'm going to start by doing 2 honorable mentions. And these are 2 that I'm so happy to get into my collection because they're well regarded as being sonically beautiful recordings. And I made the mistake of saying that this is a Grail recording for me. It still is. I was so happy to find this in the wild. I thought it was rare, but it turns out that it's not. As people in the comments told me, that's okay. I'm still so happy I have this in my collection. And this is another one of those that was reissued in the gorgeous, just a gorgeous reissue. But of course, I'm not buying those. They're very expensive. I then found one of these in the wild, and even though it's a little beat up, I'm very happy to have that in my collection. And you know what? The guy's kind of cute. He reminds me of the one vampire on, I'm not remembering the name of the show, the 3 vampires that live together. I'm just going to move on. Number 1, we have Billy the Kid and Rodeo from Morton Gould. I mean, look at that art. That's just, not only is it hilarious, but it's actually really good. Look at their costumes, pink and white and red and white. The ladies' costumes, the motion, the background. I think it's a really beautiful cover. Here we have Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker. The figure in this in the center is full of motion. Colors are directly in opposition to the background color, all of that space. It's just a gorgeous image. My next 2 are a pair, because we have Music for Dining and Music for Reading. Of course, those aren't like amazing covers, but they're just throwbacks to some of the covers you would see in the 50s and the 60s. And I don't know what other word to use, but I think they're really quaint. And I really enjoy having these 2 in my collection. So this is Moods in Music, Music for Dining. And it's by the Melachrino Strings and Orchestra. And this is also the same, but this is Music for Reading. There's also little drawings on the back. Hugo Winterhalter Goes Latin. There's some kind of curtain in the background. Maybe some kind of swirling in the front. I don't know. But overall, it's just a pretty cool effect. Tchaikovsky Pathétique Symphony from the Boston Symphony Orchestra with Pierre Monteau. I would have sworn that's a Gustave Doré, but actually, this is a detail from Botticelli's La Derelita, probably the derelict, the female derelict. Yeah, I just think that's a gorgeously stunning piece of artwork. We have Rhapsody in Blue, and this is Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops. Earl Wild on piano. I mean, look at this. Like Tinkerbell figure kind of on top of a piano keyboard. Just a cool image and a great piece of music. So here's Arthur Fiedler, and I know this isn't the greatest cover ever, but every time I look at this, I think of my grandfather. He looks like my grandfather, and for that, this record kind of holds a special place in my heart. But if you look at the background and everything, it really is a nice picture. So I'm biased, but art is subjective. Okay, the ninth one that I'm going to show is just for laughs, because this is not a very good cover at all. But this is Kiss Me Kate with Howard Keel. And look, he's holding her arm behind her back and he's spanking her. And there's also a whip on the ground. I mean, this is some bondage going on. And my final one I love because it's got two sides. This is the front, and we've got this red image from Dr. Seuss. And then on the back, you get a green image. That's just a cool album. So part 3 of this video is going to be a haul. I won 29 Mad magazines for about $60 to $70. Most of the magazines are from before I was born. Now, I was chatting with Sleepy Reader, and he says that many of these magazines sold individually go for $10 to $15. You will see that some of them are beat up, and that's okay. That lowers the price a bit. I'm still very happy with the price that I paid. This is issue number 91 from December of 1964, 3 years and a month before I was born. And it says last issue to get you to buy it, but of course it's a joke. If you think our last issue was bad, wait till you read this one. That was a 25 center. Then we're jumping to March 1966, and this is a 30 center. And it is issue number 101. And you have one of these covers where it's a cover within the cover and then the cover, because what you see on this is on the cover of the magazine would be on the cover of the magazine on the cover. And if that's on the back, I need to open that up and look at it. I haven't opened these yet. I'm just showing them off. So as you can see, right, they're dirty and discolored, but I'm very happy to have that. Here's number 102, a 30 center from April of 66. Just gorgeous artwork. Number 103 from June of 1966. I think I'm going to have to go a little bit faster because there's just so many of these to look at. Number 104 from July of 66. His father looks just like him. October of 66, number 106. Number 107 from December of 66. Wanted, new reader, with a revolting sense of humor. No intelligence necessary. Apply within. January of 67, number 108. Express Santa, 8 items or less. No one wants to be in his line. This one is really beat up, and I think the cover's detached. But this is Mad number 109 from March of 67. Okay, this is probably the worst in the bunch because it's got tape all on the cover. And for some reason, the cover art is blurry and it's chipping. So this one is probably one I should never take out of the bag and board. But this is number 110 from April of 67. You can't tell, maybe, but the art is like really blurry. I don't know what to think of this next issue. I'm going to leave it up to you. But this is Mad's special racial issue. This would probably be very non-PC right now. What do you think of this? This is number 112 from July of 67. Yeah, he needs to watch out because the monkey's way bigger than he is. September 67 with number 113. Number 114, October 67. Is that Lyndon Johnson? Number 115 from December of 67. We don't try very hard. And we get to my birth month and year, and the cover's not that impressive. It is January of 68. It's pretty cool having the one from my birth year and month. But there's a tiny fly there. Number 117, March 68. This one is really cool. This is April of 68. Turn on, tune in, drop dead. Like, that's psychedelic. That is so cool. June 68, number 119. We're up to 35 cents. In this issue, Balmy and Claude, We Rib Bank Robbers. Let's go ahead and look at that art. Sorry, there's a glare. He actually kind of looks like there's a character in the movie that looks sort of like the Mad character. December of 69, we've got number 131, Back to College issue. They spell everything all wrong. Back to College. Yeah, there's misspellings. So let's go ahead and look at Alfred E. Newman as a college graduate. Here are January of 70. Season's greetings. Have a ball from the gang at Mad. And you can see his reflection in the... Like, that's a gorgeous cover. Number 133, this one also has a detached cover with tape on it, but this is no longer contains cyclamate or MSG, monosodium glutamate, only pure, unadulterated, fat-free humor. Let's go ahead and focus in on that. 134 from April of 1970. That's a pretty cool, I just like the artwork, so I'm probably saying that a lot. This is pretty cool. June 70, number 135. In this issue, Sleazy Writers. Well, let's go ahead and get the art. 136, July of 1970. We have Butch Casually and the Sumdunce Kid. 137, in this issue, Boob and Carnal and Tad and Alice and Alfred. This is probably a gem in this bunch. Mad puts on the dog and the rest of the Peanuts gang. Yeah, this one is gold. Two more. We have number 139 from December 70. The magazine of the loud minority. So it's fun to read what's on the signs of the protesters and their expressions. Ooh. And the last one is from January of 1971, and this is number 140, Put On, Platoon. I'm not sure, but you know, it's a riff on the Patton movie, George C. Scott. So that is Garage Geeks 3-in-1, but as I stated, I'm gonna end this video with an announcement, which I'm also gonna make a separate video later. I actually just might shave this part of the video and add it as a separate announcement. So the last Saturday of the month, which is August 31st, I'm going to be doing my Fabulous 4 video. And we are going to cover the movie The Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman, Spock Must Die by James Blish. Unfortunately, this is out of print, so you'd have to order it from eBay if you want it. The recording, Paul McCartney's Pipes of Peace. And the graphic novel, The Winter Soldier from Marvel Comics, which is mostly Brew Baker. There is a more condensed version out there, the complete collection, Winter Soldier. So I hope you can join me, and you're also allowed to jump in. If you, for example, read the comic and you want to jump on the panel and talk about it, you can. And then when you're done, you can jump off. There's no pressure for you to stay a long time. This video for a 3-in-1 was way longer than I thought it would be. It's mostly because of all those mads, but I hope you enjoyed what I had to show. Don't forget to check out Mr. E, the Low Grade Kings video, which I will again link in the description. I hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend.